Proxima Centauri, a triple-star system closest to our Sun that is about 4.24 light-years away. If humanity ever decides to embark on a journey to Proxima Centauri, the challenges would be enormous. Covering that distance would take tens of thousands of years using current technology, or at best, decades with hypothetical near-light speed spacecraft. But beyond the technical hurdles, a long journey through deep space exposes its travelers to lethal dangers. These are the ways that the human crew could die on the long journey to Proxima Centauri. Radiation exposure. Space is full of dangerous cosmic rays and various forms of lethal radiation. Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere protect us from the majority of it, but in deep space, there's no such shielding. Even with protective shielding on a spacecraft, cosmic rays, high-energy particles from stars and other sources outside our solar system can penetrate most materials. Prolonged exposure to these particles will damage cells and DNA, increasing the risk of cancer, tissue damage, and other deadly diseases. For a journey that could take decades, this exposure would accumulate to lethal levels, even with advanced shielding. Without significant breakthroughs in radiation protection or medical countermeasures, radiation exposure is one of the most likely ways that space travelers would perish. Unknown dangers of deep space. One of the scariest aspects of a journey to Proxima Centauri is the unknown. Our understanding of deep space is limited, and beyond our solar system lies an environment we haven't yet explored. There could be unexpected cosmic phenomena that we don't know how to prepare for, like bursts of intense radiation, extreme gravitational forces, or uncharted regions of dark matter that could pose threats. With no way to foresee or respond to the unknown hazards of deep space, the crew could encounter conditions or events that are simply beyond our knowledge and technology's ability to handle. The unpredictability of deep space could lead to accidents or encounters with phenomena that could instantly or gradually prove deadly. Food and water shortages. Sustaining life in space requires a constant supply of food and water, resources that are hard to come by outside Earth. For a journey to Proxima Centauri, travelers would need an efficient way to produce food and recycle water over many years. But even the best closed-loop systems we have today aren't 100% efficient. On a multi-decade journey, there would be a high risk of system malfunctions. A single failure in the food or water supply system could prove catastrophic. In an environment where resupplying from Earth would be impossible, crew members could face starvation or dehydration. Developing a sustainable ecosystem within the spacecraft is vital, but if even one part of the system fails, it could quickly turn deadly. Lack of medical care for serious illness or injury. Space is an unforgiving environment, and any health issue, whether it's a broken bone, an infection, or a chronic disease, could quickly become life-threatening on a long journey. In deep space, there's no hospital, no emergency room, and no way to quickly bring in specialist doctors. Even with a well-trained medical officer and advanced medical technology, handling severe health crises would be extremely difficult. Medical equipment in space would also be limited by weight and resources, so advanced procedures or surgeries could be out of reach. For a journey lasting decades, travelers would likely face cumulative health issues over time, ranging from weakened immune systems to potential organ failure. Without adequate medical care, even minor injuries or infections could turn deadly, creating a serious survival challenge for the crew. Breakdown of critical life support systems. Life support systems, those that provide oxygen, remove carbon dioxide, regulate temperature, and manage waste, are essential for human survival in space. The problem is that the technology for life support systems is complex and prone to malfunctions, even on short space missions. For a journey to Proxima Centauri, the spacecraft would need an extremely reliable life support system that could last for decades, a feat that current technology simply cannot guarantee. Any breakdown in oxygen generation or carbon dioxide removal would lead to rapid suffocation. If the system regulating temperature fails, the crew could either freeze or overheat. Without maintenance or replacement parts, which may not be possible in deep space, a life support failure would be catastrophic. A single malfunction in any critical system would result in the crew's death in hours or even minutes. Exposure to microgravity, the physical decline. Microgravity, or the lack of gravity, has profound effects on the human body. Astronauts who spend extended periods on the International Space Station suffer from muscle atrophy, bone density loss, cardiovascular issues, and vision problems. Over time, microgravity causes the body to deteriorate. Astronauts on 6-month missions require months of physical rehabilitation upon their return to Earth. For a journey to Proxima Centauri, travelers would be in microgravity for years or decades, which would amplify these effects. Without gravity, bones weaken, muscles waste away, and the heart becomes less efficient. In a multi-decade journey, these effects would likely become irreversible, making travelers highly vulnerable to fractures, cardiovascular issues, and general physical weakness. Eventually, prolonged exposure to microgravity could result in severe health issues, possibly even death. One solution could be artificial gravity, achieved by spinning sections of the spacecraft. However, creating an effective artificial gravity system that would last for an extremely long mission is complex and would require significant energy. This solution remains more theoretical than practical, given our current technology. Sleep and circadian rhythm disruptions. Human bodies are designed to follow the Earth's day-night cycle, which regulates our circadian rhythms, or internal body clocks. In space, without a regular sunrise and sunset, maintaining this rhythm becomes a biological problem. The effects of disrupted circadian rhythms include insomnia, fatigue, and weakened immune systems. Over extended periods, these effects can weaken the body and impair mental health. On a journey lasting years, the lack of a consistent day-night cycle could make it impossible for travelers to maintain a healthy sleep pattern, leading to chronic sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation in turn can lead to poor decision-making, decreased alertness, and weakened immune responses, potentially resulting in fatal errors or health problems. Psychological stress and isolation. Imagine being in an enclosed environment for years or even decades, with no escape. The psychological strain of such isolation could become unbearable, especially with limited social interaction and lack of natural surroundings. Studies on Earth, such as those with submarine crews or astronauts on the International Space Station, show that prolonged confinement and isolation can lead to mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and even psychosis. For a long journey to Proxima Centauri, this isolation would be amplified. The vastness of space, combined with the knowledge of being far from any familiar world, could be deeply unsettling. The strain of isolation, boredom, and limited social interaction could lead to psychological breakdowns, potentially causing severe stress and even suicidal thoughts. Keeping a crew mentally healthy on such a long journey would be one of the most significant challenges, as mental health issues in deep space could easily lead to death. A journey to Proxima Centauri is both perilous and fascinating. It reminds us that our human biology is extremely fragile, and that virtually every aspect of space would kill us in a matter of seconds. We hope you enjoyed our look at the deadly journey to Proxima Centauri and invite you to join us for our next episode of A Godless Universe.